when your inner life is strong and you're living a life with integrity, you sleep peacefully every single night.
What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you had an amazing week, ready for the weekend, whatever it is that you're conquering this weekend. I hope it's a great one.
And if you're on the Northeast, folks, I hope you stay warm this weekend.
Brr.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold out there.
It's going to be a cold one.
It is going to be.
What's cold like?
It's going to be
General,
like 0 degrees.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's going to be fucking freezing.
Some may dip in the negatives in some areas.
Oh.
But that's a good excuse to not do anything if you don't want to.
My friends are, I said this, you heard me say this before, but my friends are on a ski trip this weekend. And I was invited. I
Where?
did not go. Vermont. However, now I was like, I'm glad, because if I had decided to go, I think I would have canceled when I saw the weather report.
Yeah, it's fucking
like I would have been
freezing.
like, not
But
gonna do
you're
that.
not really like a big like ski. You would be like hanging out by the fire.
No, yeah, but like even just stepping outside, it's negative 15 degrees. No bueno. If I'm gonna spend the money to get up there and like pay for a house and like all that stuff, I'll take that money and go to Florida. Like that's, you know,
Yes.
like
You
that's,
go to a warm place in
yeah.
the winter.
And
That's
if it's like
that's my view.
If it's a reasonable cold where like it's fun cold, yeah, sign me up. I love hanging out in a ski lodge.
I'm going to Montana next week, and I saw that recently it was like negative 30 degrees there.
Whoa.
But I don't know if it's gonna be that cold. But also,
Do you ski or snowboard?
I'm a snowboarder. I skied when I was younger, but I'm a snowboarder.
You made the switch.
Yeah, I was obsessed with snowboarding when I was a kid. I went to Camp Woodward, which is an action sports camp.
Oh, that's the videos of you learning the tricks.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like in the.
That's how Devin got my.
You know,
Yes.
like, you know, like when you would go to a birthday party at a gymnastics place,
Love
and like
those.
one of the big events would be like going on a rope, like swimming, taking a jump into the big pits with all the foam squares.
So fun.
That was Noah, but like
Yeah.
practicing snowboard moves.
So now you're ready for Montana.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun.
Who are you going with?
Chef Donnie's going.
Oh, it's a friend's trip.
Yeah, no, it's all. There's a good amount of people, or 4 of us from Barstool, and then some other friends.
Some add-ons.
Some add-ons. I think it's like
Some plus ones.
7, 8 total. But we got like this huge Airbnb, like in the middle of like nowhere. It looks like fake, like this kind of cabin type
Wow.
thing.
That sounds beautiful.
So yeah,
does.
it'll be fun.
That's a cool place to visit.
Yeah.
Not one that you would always
I said it would
think
be
to
like
go
it looks like
to.
the perfect place to like do shrooms.
Yeah. So maybe you will.
Maybe we will.
Maybe
you
you'll
will.
partake.
See what's on the agenda.
I
How are you? You're right.
Yeah, I'm
You're
sick out of nowhere. Annoying. I woke up yesterday. I felt like I got hit by a bus. So
Which is why we didn't do the live stream. If people
I was like, oh fuck, like I have the flu.
yeah.
Maybe not right this moment,
Yeah.
but yesterday,
I certainly hope you don't.
that would be unfortunate.
Selfishly for myself, for how
and everybody listening would
how-
be like, that's really rude.
We've been in
of
some
you.
serious confined space today.
But yesterday I definitely felt worse than today. Yesterday I was like, oh my god, I fucking got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
But I had this weird memory come to my mind yesterday. It's a really dumb story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Do you remember when we were doing cutting stems and I said that I could do like a good Mario, whatever you call it, falling?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it.
So
but yeah.
I told my family that I could do this like over the summer, and I did it for them, and they were like, that's the worst fucking impression of all time. Like they ripped me apart. I'm not kidding. They ripped me to shreds.
Yeah.
And so recently when I was in Florida, this is so random. We were at the pool and there was another family at the pool that my parents have never met before. Okay. Somehow they get into a conversation with them. And my sister must have been chirping me. Like somehow my impression came up about how I do. My parents were ripping me apart to this random family about how I do. I was like, you guys really can't find anything to talk about? They were like, oh my God, you got to hear our daughter's Mario impression. It was so fucking bad. She thought it was so, like they kept going on and on. I like had my headphones in and I was like, are you guys talking about this bad impression right now? And then they made me do it. They made me do it for the family. And
What did the family say?
The dad was like, that's not that bad. And this embarrassment came over me last night. You know, like when something embarrassing happens, you kind of move past it and then it just like floods your body all over again. I was thinking about it last night and I was like, oh my God, that was so embarrassing. And I didn't even talk to anybody about how embarrassing that was.
Can you do it?
Yeah, can you do it?
Yeah, it's gonna take me a couple times out.
Okay, just think about it.
Let me just try. Like,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
judge the first one.
Don't judge the first. Never judge the first one.
Okay. Hold on.
I thought that was pretty.
That's pretty good.
I thought that was pretty good.
Of him
I
falling
don't
and
really
dying.
know the original sound really.
It's
so.
like that.
It is. I will say,
And
it's pretty
they
good.
think it's the worst
I'll
thing.
give it like a 7 out of 10.
Thank you.
Like it's
They
really
think-
not bad.
Fran, you would think. Like, I almost want to call my parents right now.
Yeah.
And have my dad.
Like if I tried to do that, it would be so bad.
I'm just gonna call him because it's. I
like
just
a
want
dying
him to
cat.
say. Like, for some reason, this has like made my family the worst
I don't
thing
think
I've
it's
ever
that
done.
bad.
Apparently.
Who could do?
Hey, what's up?
You're on the air. You're live.
You're live. They can't see you.
Don't talk about what we talked about last night.
What do you guys think of my Mario impression?
She just did it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I really don't think it's that bad.
I didn't know what the hell it was. It sounded like I don't know what it was.
After you guys are off the air, you gotta call me back. I had a dream about you last night.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
Okay. We'll talk about that after. But I think you guys are being too hard on her about the impression.
No, it's fucking horrible.
I told you.
She did it at the pool. Over down here in front of strangers.
You guys made me do it.
And one person was like, yeah, I could see it. All right, I get it.
Should I hit it again?
Do it again.
Now I'm nervous because
Okay.
they're here.
Here, I'll hold the phone.
Okay.
That's so
you just
good.
played it?
That's the real
Noah,
one?
no, oh my god, you
that
have to
was
take
so
Dad,
similar.
Noah just played the sound. You have to come grab this phone and play it for him.
Yeah.
It sounds
Pass
so
the phone-
similar.
Pass the phone
Hold
to
on.
Noah. Play it, Noah.
Hi guys.
How you doing, Noah? How you been?
It's pretty similar.
I thought that was me.
That was
I
really
thought
good.
he was playing.
I thought he just
I
played
thought
you back.
He was playing me back.
Yeah.
Do you want to take back what you said?
You know what? Fran might be in the ballpark of a 7.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 is pretty good.
Yeah, but I can't believe that's his actual noise. That's
So maybe she just doesn't like the voice. It's slightly dead cat.
And we
but-
proved them wrong.
yeah, we did.
All right. Love you guys.
All right, love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have fun. Bye-bye.
I let me tell you, my ears perked up when Noah played the real one. I thought that sounded pretty close.
I told you they were
Yeah.
fucking mean about
Yeah,
it. My mom, it was fucking horrible.
Yeah. No.
Gosh, I can't believe you just found that. I feel, what is it, vindicated?
Yeah, vindicated. You are
I-
vindicated.
I feel vindicated. You guys want to hear my Gary from SpongeBob?
That's good too. No, we didn't watch SpongeBob.
I've seen.
No, we didn't watch
Gary.
SpongeBob because he's too cultured. He's above SpongeBob.
All right, so that's
Too
enough,
good for a SpongeBob laugh.
enough for impressions for today from Maria. How are you doing, Francesca?
I'm great.
You want to tell everybody about what
I'm going
what
to the Super Bowl.
Franny's going to the Super Bowl?
A ticket has been secured.
Who
Would you
are
like to
going
tell
with?
everybody about the
guess
ticket?
No one would be able to guess. Actually, people would be able to guess this.
They could maybe figure it out. I'll tell the story. And it's you know, when you put out good energy comes back to you, is the way I feel about this. So I was walking, and honestly, it all comes back to deciding to get in the gym because I was walking in the gym. And I heard someone say my name, and I stopped and I turned. It was Zach Clark. And we were chatting for a little bit. He's been at like every game. Like he's at every Eagles game. He's at every Sixers game. I'm like, you're at all the games. Like it's so fun. He's like, yeah, I'm literally going to the Sixers game right now. I was like, oh my God, you get to go to all the fun. Like you're at all the games. And then I was like, are you going to be in Arizona? Like, are you going to go to the game? We're chit-chatting. And I was like, I am looking for a ticket. If you know anyone. And then, you know, he kind of asked like, oh, well, like, you know, can you get one? Maybe like, or, you know, sponsor some kind of thing. I was like, no, I'm not. I can't. Like that, I would only be allowed one avenue for that, like for someone to pay for that and like me provide, I don't know, ads or social content. I'm like, I can't do that myself. Not allowed. So he was like, okay, I think I have something working. I might know something. Like I'll let you know. I was like, oh great. You know, in my mind, I'm like, that was very nice. He is probably just saying that, and I'll walk away. We said goodbye and I left, and then he sent me a message and was like, I have a ticket. Like we're gonna go as a group, the fam.
As a family.
Yep.
And I said, that sounds amazing. Because I'll be honest, like I don't necessarily am afraid of doing things alone. Like I will, but I was nervous about doing all of these things alone. Like being there for the weekend really by myself, going to the game by myself, like definitely knowing people. I know people that'll be there for the weekend, but sometimes I get awkward with like, hey, what are you doing? And then it's like, oh, people have plans. Then I'm like, it's just me. Like, can I come? You know, inviting myself places. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of spend the weekend and then I'll go to the game. I'll find a ticket. I'll go by myself. But they're all massive Eagles fans, so I get to go with fellow Eagles fans, which is best case scenario.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time
in my mind. So
it's like a guardian angel.
I know, we're headed to the big game, and he was so incredibly nice about it.
So
and
nice.
I am fucking pumped.
So awesome.
I am so excited.
Once in a lifetime chance.
It really is.
I will be
Like,
writing a movie
is-
about this.
So this is a bucket list moment for me for sure. Like even it's an added bonus that the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, but like just to go to a Super Bowl,
Rihanna.
I feel like it's such a awesome opportunity that so many people don't get to go to a Super Bowl, and I'm going to a Super Bowl
Also, your
and my
seats
team is
ain't
playing,
bad.
and I'm absolutely like thrilled. I'm so excited.
That is
I can't
really
believe
excited.
it. Like,
Exciting.
And at this point, like I'm so excited. If the game is a disaster, like I'll be upset. But
Still very
it's
cool.
still really cool.
And
it's still really, really
The
cool.
Rihanna concert
exactly
involved.
and the Rihanna show, which is a massive
Yes.
added bonus to all of this as well. But it's gonna be a fun few days. I leave Wednesday for Arizona. There's a big dozen event on Thursday night where the experts are playing. By the way, for those who listen to the show and perhaps watch the dozen, I'm gonna have major competition. My sister's really good. Like she's better than I am, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, sister rivalry.
Like,
what me and
she's
Noah
gonna be-
root for
Yeah.
Wait,
is
she
the
gonna be at the
Mariano
Super Bowl?
family drama.
She's going to the Super Bowl?
No, I'm just saying as far as like the dozen. Her team's not playing.
Oh, yeah.
But I know like Jeff's gonna set it up where we play her team when we all come back, and she's better than me.
And
I
the
think.
Mariano family
It's like the
competition.
Kelsey Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the Mariano Bowl.
yeah, exactly.
Shit, I was gonna say something about.
I did tell
going to
Gia
Super
that
Bowl.
that any sibling drama between you guys, I'm always on her side.
That's nice of you.
I am on
You-
Fran's side.
Thank you. Did you like the anchovies she brought you?
They were so good.
Those ones were good.
They were extremely salty. Like
She's so funny.
salty.
Like she's like, not that salty. I'm like, but she loves salt
I
so
love
much.
salt.
No, but like
Even I
she's
was like, oh my
crazy.
God.
Well, especially
very
when it comes to
buttery.
the anchovies.
Buttery,
She's also so
salty.
funny. Like in the Instagram video, she's like, "These are really nice ones." Like, I was like, "Yeah, I bought those."
Wait, you bought them?
Yeah.
I thought she said she went to the
No,
store.
I went to the fucking store before the Eagles game and brought. I went to Italy. I didn't go to. Joe actually
she
went to
said
Italy.
she went to Italy.
I went. I
No,
brought those.
but Joe went to Italy, so you keep
Yes.
saying you went, but Joe went.
Okay, but I paid for. But I paid for it.
okay, so you got the anchovies.
Yes, I
But
paid
she
for it.
was like, I went. Like I went.
She lied. I brought those to the apartment. Like
This is what we're talking about: the
'cause
Mariano
we-
family
we
drama.
we did a big. When we were watching the NFC Championship game, we had a bunch of people over, and my job was to bring.
Are you sure
the-
she didn't
the
just go
meat
again
cheese.
and get the same ones?
I mean, maybe, but I recall taking some of the food home because we had a lot left over, and there was a thing of anchovies, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring those for Noah." So I'm pretty sure.
Wow!
that
Wow!
She's taking credit for my anchovies.
She doesn't even realize that you guys. I mean, we're on the same show. You was gonna get back to her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Drama.
Yeah. Maybe she did go back, and if she did, I'm sorry, G, but I'm pretty sure I bought those.
All right, so Fran gets a credit
Those
for
are
that.
my canned fish,
I'm gonna be going to Philly in place of Fran.
which is honestly hilarious.
I'm so scared.
You're gonna, if they win, like, are you gonna go out on Broad Street?
No, I'm so scared.
Probably
So
gonna be dangerous.
Devin is a Eagles fan,
Yeah.
and so Devin was like, "Do you want to go to the Philly bar like for the Super Bowl?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Like, why not?" And so we're gonna go, and I've been telling her that I have a fear of danger recently. Like, I'm more aware. Like, I feel like as you get older, you get more aware of bad things that could happen rather than being like, do. And she was like, she's kind of the same way, but she was like, no, we just need to think like fun. Like, this
Yeah.
is fun, not dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you see all these videos of them celebrating, right? People end up in the hospital. I'm like, I'm going to stay in the bar for as long as I can so that I'm not caught up in any shenanigans. I will be rooting for the Eagles,
Are you
so
gonna
it's
be
not like
wearing-
I'm like a target.
Wearing Eagles.
No, I don't have any Eagles stuff. I'll
wear something green.
I'm just gonna wear something green or black. Just
Just to show that you're on there.
yeah, I am
Yeah,
on their
exactly.
side. I want them to know that.
Yeah.
I am not. I am on their side. I don't want to walk into Philly and have people think I'm not on their side.
No, you're ally.
But I am.
You're an ally.
Yeah, I'm excited because I think that's all. I think that's a cool experience. Like, I would
Extremely
just sit,
cool.
I would just
Look,
sit
if
home
I-
and do nothing.
if I
watch the
wasn't-
Super Bowl on my couch.
yeah, if I wasn't,
I've never gone to the bar, like a
going.
bar, and watched a Super Bowl or anything like that.
if I wasn't going, I would definitely be going
Yeah.
too.
So that'll be fun. And Devin is a big Eagles fan, so
Yeah,
that'll be cool for
awesome,
her.
for sure. But we've got a great show today, good folks.
Yes, we do. We are going to be doing the weekly watch report. We got some topics to talk about. Rachel and Clayton have been seen together in some TikToks. It has people chatting about that. Jessica Simpson revealed that she once had an affair with a mega movie star.
And Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner
Yeah, big
talked
regret.
about how he gave the award to Taylor Swift and Kanye interrupted. He regrets
He
not
thought it was a
stepping in.
skit.
Thought it was a little
Feels
skit.
like a long time to wait to tell people.
He has
this.
not.
Well,
I
it
don't
was
think he's done like an interview.
It was
like
it
10
was on
years.
his own we'll explain.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. And we have a great interview with Tanya Rad and Raquel Stevens, who are so lovely and fun. And they're just a bundle of joy.
Let me
the
tell
both
you,
of them.
great Friday energy into
It
the
is.
weekend.
They
Like,
really
you are
are.
gonna feel fucking positive and good
Yes.
and good vibes.
Beautiful. I love them both.
Yeah.
It was our first time meeting Raquel, and she was awesome. So we are going to get into it, starting off with the weekly watch report.
Proper Wild is clean all day energy designed to boost your energy, focus, and productivity without the jitters or crash. No preservatives, no artificial sweeteners, no horrible chemicals, just a natural tasting energy shot with clean ingredients that work. These are their brand new flavors. They are delicious. You got strawberry kiwi, apple, lemon lime. Great flavors. You're going to enjoy all of them. They're vegan, gluten-free, GMO-free, dairy-free, stevia-free, no preservatives. So if you're looking to wake up in the morning and have a little bit of a boost, or maybe you're having a long day, you got to get to the end, or even a late night, the energy shots are so great. You know, they're small. You can take them with you wherever you go. So go to properwild.com/barstool. Get that Friday energy with some Proper Energy energy shots. properwild.com/barstool to try Proper Wild for 30% off.
All right, we are back with another weekly watch report where we talk about the things we watched this week.
I love that line that you do for that, but I also feel like this might need like a jingle.
Well, he plays the music.
I know, but your own I like your jingles.
Like what?
Like when she makes up her own jingles.
I'm on the spot right now, and I'm sick. Weekly watch report. Weekly watch report. Coming back to you with a weekly watch report.
I love that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Simple.
Good.
Yep.
All right, let's go over the things we watched this week. Where once again,
No, you
I
have some
didn't-
good ones.
I have three things.
Yeah.
I have three things. I'll start basic. Titanic. Rewatch Titanic. Marty has never seen the Titanic. Once upon a time, his mom made him go to a Titanic reenactment dinner. Actually, like more.
What?
I'm
Like-
sorry. What?
Yes.
Like this?
And
Like, are you
they
like falling
Like
over?
Oh, they have-
room-
they have
That's a thing.
they have ripped her apart for this. And I love her so much. They're so
Does
much
everybody drown at the
fun. No,
end?
so
Yeah.
he didn't know. So I've seen the pictures and everything. He's never seen the Titanic, and they picked him out in the crowd and gave him a part. I know. And so he didn't
Did he
know.
play Jack?
No. And he didn't know like anything about the Titanic. So it's been a joke now with his family where they're like, you got to get him to watch the Titanic, like whatever. So it was around like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock on Friday. And we were like, this is the perfect time to watch Titanic because it's a 3-hour long movie. We're not going to fall asleep. Like it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we sat down. And I love when a movie just captures me so much that I don't look at my phone. And for those 3 hours, I did not look at my phone. That I've seen the
Magical.
movie a billion times, but it's been a couple of years now.
Yeah, and there's something different. Titanic is a movie that you catch on TV sometimes. Like when you sit down and actually watch it start to finish, that's a rarity.
It's so rare, and it is seriously the most romantic movie of all time. It's an A+. Like that movie is just so good.
Most romantic movie of all time. I don't know, but
It's one of the most romantic movies of all time. He
100%.
Jack gave up his life
100%.
for Rose.
yeah.
I'm not even having this
It's- no,
discussion.
no,
It's
no,
one of the
it's
most romantic
Yes,
movies
correct.
of all time.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Wait, does she ever get remarried? Like when she's older?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's an A+, the Titanic for me. Then I watched You People, the movie with
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy.
I think the whole group watched it. You watched it?
Oh
Lauren
no!
London.
I
You didn't
started.
watch
wait,
it?
wait.
You
what?
People.
No. I started it and I was just like, this is so bad. I can't watch this right now. I probably watched like 10 minutes and then so that's
Yeah.
I'm not gonna count it.
I really didn't think it was great.
Yeah.
I've only seen bad reviews.
I was expecting it to be, when you see Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill, like you expect it to be like knee slapping funny.
Yeah.
And I understood the purpose of the film.
Yeah.
And I understood what they were doing there, which I thought was good. But then I thought that it was going to be like very funny, like, you know, at the same time. And I didn't think it was that funny. So I maybe went into it with the wrong mindset.
No, I'm with you. I
And
think
I
it
also-
could have been funnier.
Yes, and I also think so. Lauren London obviously was with Nipsey Hussle, and he passed, and so people are talking about the chemistry between Jonah Hill and Lauren London in this film like wasn't really existent, and like they kissed maybe one time, and they think the kiss was photoshopped or whatever, and they were like, you know, maybe she's still grieving and like need to respect her, and her being with somebody else on film may not be comfortable for her or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I like wasn't fully buying into. I saw someone write like the whole movie was just a sneaker ad, which
Yeah,
at
that's
one
funny. That
point
is-
it did
yeah.
feel that
I'm
way.
zooming in on the shoes.
I think I was just expecting it to be a lot funnier when you hear Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy, like,
yeah.
and Julia Louis-Dreyfus too. Like I was like,
Yeah, it felt like Eddie, they played the parts well. Like Eddie Murphy played his part well, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus played her part well. I think Jonah Hill co-wrote the script as well. It felt like it was trying a little too hard at
Yeah.
some points, and it lost me at certain things.
like I felt like they could have gotten their
Yeah.
point across while not having to mention it in every sentence. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like there like wasn't a lot of I
Yeah.
feel like conversation like
Yeah. It
I
wasn't.
don't know if I'm
it didn't-
explaining this right.
No,
like,
I get what you're saying. It didn't really.
like there was
There
dialogue,
wasn't really
but
a
it
lot of
felt like it was
character
development.
development.
It felt like
Yeah.
the dialogue was very repetitive.
Which is fine. I think that was maybe the point. It was like every character is really like stuck in their stereotype, and like that's what they're going through. And look, I've seen plenty of people. I've never been in a situation like this before. I've seen plenty of people on Instagram say like they found a lot of this very relatable.
Right.
So that's definitely a part of it. But yeah, there was some jokes that I felt like really fell flat for sure.
Right, which is like one of those things where when I was like gonna talk about this movie, I was like, obviously there are things that I will just not relate to in this movie, and I will
Yeah.
never know what it feels like. And so,
Yeah.
you know, I think maybe I don't think that's part of it. I think for me, I was just like, yeah, I'm not laughing too hard at Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill, and I want to be laughing at them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give that a C.
Yeah. That seems about fair. I'll say mine. But yeah, that's about fair.
And then I watched the Pamela Anderson documentary, which
Fucking
was
phenomenal.
beautifully done.
Talking about when you put your phone down and really like are paying attention. That's how I felt watching.
She is one of the most captivating people, one of the most interesting people in the world, has one of the most interesting lives ever. Like, it's actually insane.
I started it, but I still gotta
It's
finish.
so good. And it's also just like
She
a
seems
really,
so sweet.
really well done movie.
It is. It's really well
like
done.
it's just
documentary.
a really well made movie.
Her journals, like her personal journals, were read,
It's awesome that she has all that stuff.
saved.
Watching that really made me think like, God, I wish I I have my diary from 6th grade, but like I wish I really wrote stuff down because I forget so much already.
Yeah, I did have a journal when I first started at Barstool, and then in the move I lost
Lost
it, which really upsets me.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Because I used to write down everything that happened
Yeah.
to me every day
Yeah.
at work, which would be cool to have now, looking like 6.5 years later.
yeah,
Uh,
so good though.
The documentary was phenomenal, though. Like, really well done. Just such an interesting life. It's crazy. I mean,
She's
the
such a beautiful like spirit, like
such
her
a-
like soul.
she's
And
such a
seems
ho-
really funny.
She's funny. She seems self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
She is a hopeless romantic. She has been married more times than anybody I could ever bring up. Like,
She's been married.
How
she
many?
doesn't have boyfriends. She has husbands. Probably
I think
6.
maybe like 6 or 7 times.
She married Kid Rock, Rick Solomon.
Let me tell you, I forgot about the Kid
Oh my
Rock
god!
one.
And then when
And then Rick Solomon again.
and Rick Solomon again, and but she's still friends with Rick Solomon. And then it was funny when there was a video of Dylan, which is Pam has 2 sons, Dylan and Brandon, and Dylan was in the water and Kid Rock went to help him and he was like, no, I got it. And he was like really young. And I think it was Brandon who was like, who's Bob? Or like whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Dylan was like, Kid Rock. Like it was just funny to see the dynamic. But it seems like Pam has such a good relationship with her sons and they have such a good relationship with her. And I feel like those kids like saved Pam's life in a way. Like I
Totally.
think that she needed to have them. And, you know, she left Tommy because, you know, he was abusive towards her and he ended up in jail and that was not good. And it's sad to see her say that she will never, she's tried and tried and tried and she has never had a love like she's had with Tommy Lee, but she also can't be with Tommy Lee. And she said that she doesn't want to be with anybody if it's not going to be the father of her kids,
Very
which
emotional.
is so emotional because now she's like, I'm just going to like be alone. But you can tell that she is a hopeless romantic. And like, if she meets a guy and falls head over heels over him, like she went to do Chicago on Broadway and she was like, now we just have to hope I don't meet any guys. And it's just,
I know.
I think it's so relatable for some people out there. She just seems so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. And I just loved like there was so much talk about Pam and Tommy, the Hulu show and everything, and she really got to talk about those things in her own words and explain how she felt about it and what that whole experience was really like for her and like really traumatized her and really like the money aspect of it is so crazy. Because you know how I was saying like when we were talking about Julia Fox, it's like she is famous, but sometimes that doesn't translate to like insane amounts of dollar signs. Like people just assume you make all this money. Like she didn't make money from the tapes. She didn't, like her likeness is used all the time. And I saw an interview with, they were on the carpet, Brandon and Pam, and he was talking about like just money wise. She was like joking, like, yeah, I'm bad with money. Or she's like, I just, you know, I don't really care. Like if I can, she said, if I can pay my credit card bills and get my nails done, like I'm good. But I think he was saying like just like $4,000 a year for like residual checks from Baywatch, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like Baywatch was such an international craze.
Yeah, she said on Howard Stern that it came like he did the research. Brandon did the research and came out to like $1,000 or something like that. Whether it be 4,000, 1,000.
Yeah.
But she just seems like such a sweet person. And in interviews, she's talked about how she doesn't get the Halloween costumes. Like she doesn't, you know, which makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
That so many. Like I saw, who was it? What's her name? Golden Barbie on Instagram.
Jasmine.
Yes. She dressed up as Pam for the premiere. And I saw that and I was like, oh, no. Because like Pam
Yeah,
had
yeah.
just talked about in an interview how she doesn't love that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, like you just
Yeah.
feel like, I don't know. And
I know. She just clearly is her own person. You know what I mean? Like she has her own thoughts. She expresses them. Sometimes people don't like them, but she says them. And like that's like the boys were joking. Like sometimes we wish she just would not say anything.
you know what's crazy though? Rick Solomon was the one who released the sex tape with Paris Hilton. So it's crazy that she ended up with Rick Solomon, who did something to somebody that was done to her.
Right. That is crazy.
And I don't know when that like timeline was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was after or before, you know, because
Yeah.
Paris Hilton is younger, but it's crazy, but really such a beautifully done
phenomenal documentary, yeah.
I'm going to give it an A.
Yeah.
Thought it was
Well
a
deserved.
solid A. Very, very well done.
Yeah. I agree. You people, we have to don't discuss it again. You people for me was like a B-. I liked it, but it was just like wasn't, you know, could have. I think it's just you see that cast and you expect really something really, really good, you know? So I think it was maybe disappointing in that regard. Pam documentary, couldn't agree more. Absolute A. Solid A. Like I really recommend. Episode 3 of The Last of Us. Beautiful television. Just
I've heard
like
really great things about that last episode.
just a phenomenal.
Not really any zombies.
No, it wasn't. Really just like you were just caught up in it and you didn't even, you kind of like forgot what show you were watching.
Yeah, it felt like a different show.
It was so good. And Nick Offerman, like they were so good. So, but it is funny, like he's just so Ron Swanson.
What's the other guy's name? Because I didn't realize that was him from White
Lotus.
season
Yeah,
1.
that's Armand
Because
from
he
White
also
Lotus.
was in.
His name's Bartlett.
He also was in the Chippendale show.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's really good. I also think that. Oh no, I watched the. If anybody else watched it after the episode, they always do like the little behind the show, like the last like 4 minutes, and they did it for this one. And Nick Offerman was completely clean face. It was jarring. He popped up on the screen. I was like, oh my God. Like, when have you ever seen that man without a beard or a mustache? It was like, I felt like I saw him naked. Like, I was like, there's something.
pretty equivalent.
Yeah. A for sure. Good episode. I finished a bunch of things that don't need a grade. I finished Madoff. I enjoyed all 4 of those episodes. Real Housewives of Miami has been fantastic. That 90s show I put on.
Same, actually. I forgot. I watched the first episode.
I watched 4 episodes. It's tough. And it sucks because like Fuller House, I loved Fuller House.
Fuller House was good.
That 90s show, I wasn't laughing.
No.
I thought like I would get some like cheesy chuckles. And the parents, like now grandparents, they're great. They're iconic. So like they still play those characters so well. I'm just having a hard time with the kids.
I didn't like the cast of the kids. I'm not gonna lie.
Nobody's like, I'm not.
I said no, I was like, nobody's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know how each that 70 show character had their own
Yeah.
personality. Like Eric was more of like the nerdier type, but he wasn't full nerdy. And then, you know, Hyde was like the chill, and like Kelso was like pop. Like
Yeah.
everyone had like their own stereotype. All these kids, I was like,
Yeah,
like
I
they
don't-
all were just like
yeah.
kind of blah to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a C-.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. You could add that 70 show first episode, give it a C- for me.
Yeah.
You won't be continuing?
No, I could not go further.
Yeah. The Challenge Part 1 finale. Great episode. I give that like a A-. Good reality TV. The finals are always the best. They're doing a 100-hour final. Everybody's stressed. The second part's going to be fantastic. It was crazy. I had people DMing me about the end. If you've watched it, you'll see. But like Olivia went through some crazy shit, and it was surprising and unexpected. And she was crushing it, so it was very sad. And because of what happened for her, like her partner couldn't keep going, so he was eliminated too, which was sad because he's been so good. But holy crap, it was intense, and it was a good episode. So that's all I got.
All right. I don't have much either. I watched the final episode of Peaky Blinders, season 6, last episode. I'll give it a B+. It was
Like, were you watching the other ones before that, or you just put on the last one?
no. I watched. I might have missed
Oh.
one episode in the final season, but I watched all the seasons, and it wrapped up nicely. Emotional ending. B+. It was a great show. You guys never watched Peaky Blinders?
Mm-mm.
Any seasons?
No.
Watch The Last of Us. Yeah, great episode.
Great
I'll give it
episode.
an A- because it was a great episode, but I'm still like, give me some zombies too. Like, give me some
I
action.
loved it.
Zombies.
I thought it was like, it was one of those episodes where like all of a sudden you were crying. You were like, wow, I really did not expect this.
Yeah,
But yes.
and I watched this show the first 5 episodes of this show called The Rig on Prime.
Okay.
I didn't really know I thought it was just gonna be a show about like something bad happening on like an oil rig, and they are on an oil rig, and something bad does happen, but it turns into this like supernatural
Oh.
show, and I don't really love it, and I'll probably keep watching, but it's a C.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it.
Wow.
Okay. Very
Are
concise.
you leaving stuff off the list so that people don't make fun of you?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
Um,
Busier week.
Yeah, it might look like that because I got shamed for being like uncool.
That was over break.
And yeah,
For
it's like
just
that was like
watching bad movies.
that was like 2 weeks where I just had nothing to do at my parents' house, and then people are like, "Wow, get a life, Noah."
Yeah. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Listen, I would never. Oh wait. Oh, I forgot. I watched Infinity Pool, new movie in theaters.
Oh.
How
was that?
It was good. It's horror. I don't know if I'd call it horror, but just disturbing. Alexander Skarsgård getting great reviews. I would give that a B. I like it. I didn't love it. Like I went into it thinking maybe it was like I'm not a big horror guy.
Yeah.
And I went into Barbarian not knowing what to expect, and then I ended up loving Barbarian. But there wasn't as much comedic relief, if any.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of very weird and disturbing.
Ooh.
And yeah, but I saw it. It's always fun going to the theater. I love that no matter what, every time the Nicole Kidman thing starts, the whole audience starts applauding and cheering, and like you hear everyone saying the lines with them. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It is.
It's a funny phenomenon.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
All right, that wraps up what we watched this week. Weekly Watch Report. Weekly Watch Report. What was the line? Weekly Watch Report. Weekly
don't
Watch
know.
Report. We're coming back
Yeah,
with a Weekly Watch Report. See ya. Just a reminder, make sure you guys are looking at our Chicks in the Office merch. We have some new things we're working on that's going to be really cool, so keep an eye out for that. But make sure you're not looking past the stuff we already have, which we have the Chicks in the Office pajama, shirt, and shorts that we both still wear all the time. We have the Rhea and Fran sets, the hoodie, the crew neck, the sweatpants. Those are both still available, as well as new stuff we're working on, which will be out soon. St. Patty's Day merch. You want to get that soon so that you have it in time in March. So right now, shop store.barstoolsports.com. Remember, store.barstoolsports.com. If you want to be comfy and cozy with our merch. Okay, let's get into the topics. Quick topics here.
Quick.
Rachel and Clayton were seen hanging out
Yeah.
with Giannina and Blake
And Michelle.
And people are confused because Rachel,
They're making
Clayton,
TikToks.
obviously, if you remember, Clayton, broke up with Rachel and Gabby together, and it was a whole big thing. And then
Yeah.
Rachel became the Bachelorette. And now it seems like maybe there might be a little something going on with Rachel and Clayton. They did a little TikTok where Michelle was like, explain to me what's going on.
Yeah.
And then they joked around. They said they can't explain.
I feel like they're just messing with us.
I think either they're messing with us. I don't know. I want Rachel and Clayton to find other people.
I'm with you on that.
And you know what? If they feel like they want to try again and whatever, but I just feel like Rachel should be like, you know what, Clayton, you really screwed me over. I'm gonna try with some other people first.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I also think like if they were actually seriously considering reconnecting, they wouldn't be making TikToks about it. You know?
Yeah.
So
That's
I
true.
feel like it was kind of just like, oh, let's make a TikTok. It'll blow up. People are gonna freak out.
I can't imagine Susie's happy with seeing this.
Yeah. I
Just
don't
making
know.
TikToks right away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, not right away. It's definitely
No,
not
it's
right away.
been-
They've been
no.
broken up for a while.
No.
But it's more just like the joking around of the TikTok of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, but
I'm
I
not
saw-
saying she should or shouldn't be.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
also
saying
saw
I
people like
imagine she
really
wouldn't be.
freaking out about it, and I don't know if it's just like that. I've separated like Clayton season from my mind. I was just like, all right, like
I totally
it-
forgot that they were like a thing. Like when I saw them together, I was like, why is Rachel with
Yeah,
Clayton?
yeah.
How did they meet?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, that was literally her season.
Yep, exactly.
So whatever's going on
People
there,
are freaking
who
out.
knows?
My
Doubt it.
bet is that was all like fun and games.
Yeah, they're just messing around. They're
Yeah.
all sitting around laughing at everybody.
Yeah.
Taylor Lautner and Taylor Lautner
Yep.
have been doing interview rounds. And
Taylor Lautner's wife is named Taylor,
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
and it was
the Taylor
actually
Lautner.
Wait,
It
is it
was-
spelled the same?
yeah. It was
That's
on their.
so
They
weird.
were. They talked about this on their own podcast.
Yes, but they've also been doing interview rounds. And Taylor Lautner, the guy,
Was asked by Taylor Lautner, the girl.
about how he felt about the whole Taylor Swift situation in which he
So many
presented.
Taylors. My head's spinning.
She asked Taylor Lautner, his wife, asked him like if there was a regret.
I was getting there.
I thought you said that she directly asked about Taylor Swift.
No, I was phrasing the. She
Oh,
was asking.
I thought you were saying she asked.
No, I was
something about Taylor
explaining
Swift. I was like, oh, that was
when
what she
he
asked.
presented the award to Taylor Swift.
Yes.
And then Kanye interrupted how he felt. He didn't say anything. So I was getting there.
Yes. Yes. Because the initial question was, what is a regret that you had in your life? And he brought up Taylor that moment that he said he wished he did something in that moment because I guess they had just started seeing each other. Taylor Lautner, the wife, also had a hilarious reaction too. Like she kind of like fell over in the chair a little bit, was like laughing because I think she is just like one of those gals that's in the mix too. And she's like, wow, can appreciate like pop culture and was like, oh my God, like what an iconic moment, like when you dated Taylor Swift. And so I think like he was like, when we were up on stage and he was like, I was just laughing because I thought it was a skit. And then she turned around and looked at me and I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Wait, Taylor Lautner was dating Taylor Swift?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
like
At
just
the
started
time?
dating.
And
Yeah.
he was presenting the award to her.
To her.
He
They were
presented
dating?
her the award.
Because they were dating.
I don't know if it was because they were
It
dating.
wasn't like one
I
of
thought
those
it was
like the
just-
Taylor Swift award. It
Oh,
was
see,
the best
Yeah.
music
I saw
video.
these headlines and I thought he was just talking from the standpoint of presenting. I didn't know that they were dating.
No, they were dating.
No, they were
and he
dating.
was presenting the award. She ended up winning.
So she looked at him like,
And then she turned around with a
Yeah.
very sad face. And
he said he felt really bad
Taylor
about it.
Lautner's like, hey, Kanye, don't say that about my girlfriend.
That he didn't do
yeah,
anything.
like
It's
what,
like, what would he have done?
yeah, like what would have Taylor Lautner done to Kanye in that moment? You
Kanye
know?
would be like, who? Twilight Boy?
Like if he pulled the Will Smith, like
Yeah.
Taylor Lautner's dead.
Imagine,
You know?
you keep my girlfriend's name.
Like
Yeah.
Taylor Lautner's career is over after
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that was really like we're talking pretty peak Taylor
Oh,
Lautner
wait,
at
so that
time.
was
Yeah.
Valentine's
By the
Day.
way.
I forgot about that. Is that how they
Yeah.
met?
Yeah.
So they started dating after they dated in the movie.
I can't believe the amount
I
of Taylors
believe so,
he's
yeah.
dated.
Yeah, what is with
Just
him?
So
Two
yeah, he
is a lot.
Yeah, Taylor Swift and now
His
Taylor
wife
Lautner.
is
He's got,
Taylor.
he's got a
Taylor
fetish
Lautner.
for his own name. It's like
Yeah.
Fran.
I dated a male Fran.
Are
Yeah.
you wanting to name?
Oh,
your kid
me wanting
Francesca?
to name a daughter Francesca. Well, that's different than dating somebody with the same name.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think like in my mind, I always forget that he was even a part of that moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, because who would think that he's
Yeah.
part of that moment? You
Like,
think Taylor Swift, you think
Yeah.
Kanye, you
I
think
know.
Beyonce.
In that moment, like I forget, like I'm like, oh my, I don't even remember like Taylor Lautner being in that.
Yeah.
But then I envisioned the picture, and he's there. He had those glasses on,
And then you're thinking about like, what did Taylor Swift say to him after? Like, you weren't going to say anything.
right? Wasn't he wearing like? Oh no, there's their nice hug, and she got the award, and then bam, there he is. It's crazy. You really forget. Like I totally forgot he was even a part of that. But
He has kind of fallen off the map.
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
He has.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's very happy.
I mean,
He
like,
just
look at
got
Robert
married
Pattinson. He's killing it.
Yeah.
Edward
Team
really
Edward.
won.
Team Edward.
Yeah.
Edward
Everyone
really
gets
won
their
in the end.
happiness in different ways.
Yeah, maybe he didn't
He
want to
just-
continue.
Yeah, and he
maybe
just got married. He's probably,
He wanted a different life.
Exactly.
That's fine. Moving on.
Exactly.
So last topic, Jessica Simpson revealed that she had an affair with a mega movie star, and now people are trying to figure out who this movie star is.
Yeah.
I've seen Will Smith's name thrown around a little bit.
Oh.
I don't know why.
So when you say affair,
He was married.
Yeah.
The guy
Yeah.
is married.
So it was we're talking 2001. Jessica Simpson released an Amazon original short story, which is interesting because it's a short story you can buy, you can read it online, called Movie Star. They always say they're single. And
Ooh.
wouldn't you know that this guy wasn't?
yeah, she was
But you never know. They could be
Yeah.
like, oh, my marriage, we're separated.
Yeah, she said
know.
it was early September 2001. Jessica had spent that summer apart from her first real boyfriend, Nick. She didn't really know how to be single. She was at a 2001 MTV VMAs after party when the actor whom she refers to as a movie star met her and eyeballed her up and down, quote, like he was undressing me with his eyes. Then the 21-year-old singer said she got his phone number, never called him, ran into him later and talked about potentially doing a music video together, which never happened. And the two lost touch once she and Nick Lachey got back together and married. They divorced in 2006, and a producer later told her, I have somebody who's been after you forever and you don't even know it, connecting her with said movie star. Simpson writes that they met up at the Beverly Hills Hotel when he got ready for an award show and shared their first kiss. He texted me throughout the award show. The event was so huge that it made me feel special that every beautiful woman in Hollywood was there and he wanted me. But plot twist, in fact, there was one other beautiful woman in his life, his girlfriend. Oh, his girlfriend.
Where was she during this?
Shortly after I saw
So
a
that,
photo.
that can't be Will Smith.
Yeah. Shortly after I saw a photo of a movie star on movie star on a red carpet with her, I was never ever in a million years going to be the other woman. After insisting to her that he and his girlfriend had broken up and were just photographed together to avoid news of the split going out, the unnamed actor continued to pursue her. She writes that he even invited her to travel to see him while he was filming, but that they would have to take separate cars to and from the hotel. And she was advised to use a fire escape to get to his room. Simpson said she eventually realized that the star was attempting to hide me from his chick. According to her, they did not have sex and she ended things on her terms, but did get something to remember him by. She wrote, I needed a trophy for this achievement, so I took the pillowcase he slept on, she wrote. I didn't care if it was creepy or if he had to pay for it, and it would send the message, this was fun, but now I have a memory of you.
Interesting.
A little
Very
weird on
interesting.
Jessica's part.
Yeah, both, yeah.
But also not really an affair if you didn't sleep together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm confused by the story because all the
Like, he's not
headlines said like a
married.
big affair.
Right.
And
Well, they kissed,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that constitutes
I
the
don't think
label of affair. He
Yeah.
cheated on his
affair
girlfriend.
makes it seem like
Affair is, I feel like, an
Multiple times, yeah.
ongoing situation where like he cheated on his
Yeah.
girlfriend with Jessica
who do
Simpson.
we think?
I'm looking at the MTV 2001 MTV VMAs. Jamie Foxx was the host.
And music
Wait,
video.
what year?
So you have to
What
think you've been talking about doing a music video together.
2001.
You'd have to think that, you know, Jessica Simpson did music, but
Brad Pitt?
you have to
Yeah.
think the other person kind of dabbled in some music too.
Diddy was a presenter.
But movie star.
Movie star.
I don't know if I would call Jamie Foxx a movie
Yeah, I
star.
don't know if I'd call Jamie Foxx a movie star. He's not.
What
He's
would
not-
you call him?
Jamie Foxx is
He's
like
a producer. No,
he's a celebrity.
Isn't he
in my
like
eyes.
a
he's not
movie-
I
Isn't
think
Jamie
you
Foxx-
would call Jamie Foxx a movie
I mean, he
star.
won an Oscar.
He
but
won an
like-
Oscar. I think you could totally say he's a movie star.
But like when I look at you, don't. I just feel like you don't.
Is Jamie Foxx a music producer though?
No.
I mean, he's done music.
He's done music, but he's not a
but I don't
producer, I
think
don't think.
that's like not his
Blame it on the
main occupation.
Oh,
But-
he's an American actor, comedian, and singer. So
He does it all.
I don't know. I would.
So he may-
but
you
I
know
could
what?
put him under movie star
He's
category.
A-list, but I just don't know. I feel like you don't call him you don't think of movie stars and think of Jamie Foxx.
you know what? I feel
Yeah, but
dumb for
I
saying
could
he wasn't
maybe-
he's not a movie star. I actually
I mean,
want to
he's a
take that
great
back.
actor.
He's
playing,
I just think like if you're Jessica
Mike
Simpson
Tyson.
in 2001, like you're Jamie Foxx is a movie star.
That was still
I think
pretty
that's
early
a
in
very
his career, right?
I think that's a very plausible option.
But do you think that she's saying because at that time he wasn't who he is now?
I mean, but he was hosting the VMAs. Like it's
So
not like he was a no one.
somebody.
Yeah.
He did right in 2004, so it's not like it was that far off
Yeah.
from that time.
But that was also, I don't know. I'm thinking of when he did the song with Kanye. That must have been like
I feel
2003.
really dumb for saying that Jamie Foxx wasn't a movie star.
I mean, he's a good actor, but I just think there's some people, like when you say movie star, my mind goes to Denzel,
Yeah,
Brad
maybe.
Pitt.
I mean, look, I'm trying to find. I don't see the IMDb for the 2001 MTV VMAs does not give a long list of.
Are people guessing online though? I'm assuming like
Yeah,
what's the
for
biggest
sure.
guess?
I don't know. Rhea said a lot of people were saying
but
Will Smith.
now Will Smith doesn't make sense because Will
Yeah.
Smith was married.
Yeah. I don't know. That would. I mean,
Jessica Simpson movie
Jamie
star.
Foxx, I think, is a pretty good guess. In my mind, no.
I mean, that's yeah. I mean,
And also, let's think now. Even if they met in 2001, they didn't connect till 2006, and 2006 is after Ray.
yeah,
So that at that point, he's an Oscar-winning actor.
yeah.
Well, either way,
Right?
the
Like,
headlines
they-
made the
So that was
story.
Because it's
before
like-
John Mayer.
Yeah, she met him in 2001, and there was no connection. And then it was like, oh, they reconnected in 2006. I don't know.
I like that she was also like, I felt like there's so many girls in the room. It's like you're Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah, but
one of the
even
hottest.
while watching the Pamela Anderson
Yeah.
documentary, Pamela
Although
Anderson
I guess if
thought
he was host,
she thought she was funny looking.
right?
yeah,
If he was,
Jessica Simpson back then was like everyone's number one.
if he was hosting,
Dukes of Hazzard.
when did she say? When did he say?
I don't think we're gonna figure out.
Okay,
who
yeah,
it
we're
is,
not
we'll
gonna figure
get
out.
to the
be
bottom of
honest.
Anyway,
this.
that's my guess. So that's my guess. I'm
What?
sure
So
everyone
we'll
can
get to the bottom of this.
also
Yeah.
do some research and find out. But I do love that Jessica loves telling these stories.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
The headlines did make it seem a lot worse.
it's for sure. For
it's
sure.
it's not great, but it
For sure.
The headlines seem more like married man affair.
Yeah, I agree.
Still not nice though.
No. Two of the most iconic beer brands are about to make history this year. Coors Light and Miller Lite are facing off for airtime in the big game after a 30-year absence, but the big mystery is who will win. We're obviously Team Coors Light here, so we're rooting for them to show up, but every detail of the ad is completely under wraps until the actual game. You guys know Coors Light is the beer I'm drinking when I am enjoying a nice football game. It's my way to relax on Sundays. It's mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Coors Light's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged, literally made to chill, as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. The big game hasn't been this refreshing in 30 years, so be sure to tune in to see which of these beer giants reign supreme. And pick up your Coors Light to enjoy during the game. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with your Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. Celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, everyone, we are here with two beautiful, fantastic, lovely ladies. We have Tanya Ride and Raquel Stevens, who have a new book that is out.
I love
now.
doing this when we
The
have somebody with a
Sunshine
book.
Minds.
I like how you did that.
Yes, Rhea's showing it off, but we're so excited to have you guys in studio.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
We're pumped. Raquel, we're excited to meet you and
Yes.
talk to you. And
Pumped to meet you
Tanya,
guys.
old, long friends.
just
so.
long time
When
friends.
Raquel walked in, I felt like I had known her forever. Like
Oh,
first,
I know. I
just-
feel the same way about you guys. I'm
like, I was
it's
just
good
like,
energy.
oh, I don't
Yeah.
feel like we just met. I
No,
feel
I
like we've
know.
known. Maybe because
I
Tanya,
know.
we've known you for a while
Right,
now.
right,
But
It's
yeah.
like same.
I also just trust anyone that's friends with Tanya. Does that make sense?
100%.
Like I'm just like, if you're close with Tanya, then you have to be like a solid.
I've always
person.
said, I'm like, if someone has a problem with Tanya, I question them. Because Tanya is like salt of the earth, amazing
Exactly.
human
it
being.
would be concerning.
wow, this
Yeah.
is really what I needed today. Thank you guys so much.
So you're in New York. The book is out. How has the
Yeah.
response been? What do you guys have planned while you're out here?
We actually just got like the first batch of reviews, like actual people that have read it and written reviews, and they're
Yeah.
really good. People like it.
I saw you posting them all over your Instagram story, which was making me
So
laugh
cute.
that you're like refreshing the reviews and you're just posting them. But they were really
Yeah,
nice.
no, we're
Yeah.
really grateful, and it's vulnerable to put anything out, right? You put out your show, you
Yep.
put out, a book. It's vulnerable, so to see the responses being good,
Yeah.
we're really really grateful, and so we're here for a couple of days. We're doing this. We're doing Good Morning America tomorrow. Couple of other things out here. So we're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
And then like all of our friends are flying out for the weekend
Oh,
to
cool.
like
Yeah,
hang
we're gonna have
out.
fun.
Yeah, it's
I think
be,
we're gonna go to SNL Saturday night.
Yeah, so
Oh,
like this
yeah.
weekend we're
Hosting.
gonna party.
Who I can't remember who's hosting, but Coldplay is playing.
oh, really?
Oh, Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The Last
Yeah.
of Us is a great show.
Have you guys ever been to SNL?
And
We have not, but
Coldplay?
I know.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is really cool. Have you guys been before?
Yeah, I weirdly every time I'm in New York, I end up at SNL.
That's so cool.
Somehow,
Everyone's like, why are you always
Yeah,
at
I have
SNL? I'm like,
not. I have
I
not.
just love it.
Yeah.
We have friends here who just recently went, and they said it was
It's a great
so
time.
awesome.
It's so nostalgic being there too. The studio, like it hasn't changed since the show started. It's a really good vibe.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be so much fun. I mean, you guys, this is so exciting. The book, The Sunshine Mind, you know, you can really go, you can kind of like go through it daily. You can go through it all at one time. It's a lot of wisdom, but really, I want to like take it all the way to the beginning because I think our listeners are familiar with Tanya and Scrubbing In and love you and Becca, and you and Raquel did this book together. So where did this friendship start?
Oh, well, our friendship started, we met at a Bible study like almost 10 years ago now.
Okay.
And so, and Raquel has been one of those friends that is just always there. Like she's consistent, she's constant, she's like a rock, like literally a rock in my life. Like you've been from day one. And it's really cool that we actually have this devotional now because anytime like I'm shaken or if I have work stuff going on or when I was dating and you know I was going up and down with all that, she would always send me like a Bible scripture and like it would always put me at peace. And so she was the perfect person to do the book with because it was just like such a true depiction of our relationship. And the crazy thing is, and you guys will appreciate this, I had written a book proposal before this one that I spent a lot of time and money on, and it went, nobody wanted it. It was like left on the cutting, rejected. And I went on the podcast, we did our highs and lows of the year, and I was like, started crying because I was like, I spent so much time on this book and nobody wanted it, but I'm going to keep going. Like, I'm not going to give up. And a scrub sister reached out and was like, I really believe in you. I want to connect you with my aunt who works in publishing, blah, blah, blah. So it was like, it all started like kind of going in a positive direction. That's when Raquel got looped in.
And it was during the middle of the pandemic. So it
Yeah.
was a time where there was a lot of darkness, a lot of unrest in the world, really. And so when Tanya approached me, she said, how would you feel about doing a devotional book together? My devotional has helped me so much, she
Yeah.
said. And I was like, me too. I would love that. And then even when we came up with the name, we were thinking about like how dark everything had been. And we're like, we want to put out something that's light filled. So then we're thinking of words like what has to do with light, whatever. And then we thought sunshine. And I think that, you know, we'll get into it more, but that's kind of how it came about. And it was an immediate yes for me. Like there was no questions when Tanya asked me about it. I'm like, she's the perfect partner.
Yeah.
It's the perfect thing to put out. The time is right.
You guys look like sunshine. Does that make sense? Like you
Aw,
guys
thank
just
you.
look as people. You just look like sunshine.
You're the
Thank you so much.
Wow.
It's true. And
I
it matches the
mean,
book.
Yeah, it does. And one of the first things that you wrote, Tanya, you wrote, I'm annoyingly optimistic.
Yeah.
Do you get that a lot? People
all the
tell
time.
you that?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I see your stories and I'm like, this bitch. every day, she's just so positive.
The thing is, I think why we want the Sunshine Mind, because it's really a mindset. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of bad, but I really feel like in the mundane and in the minutia of your life, like you can find such beautiful moments in your day-to-day things. And so I really try and do that. And I think it's like really helped me.
But I want to say too, as well. So Tanya and I met, like she said, almost 10 years ago. And when we met, Tanya was kind of in the beginning of her career still, and she was dealing with a lot from, you know, many different people in her work saying, you're too this, you're too that, you're too positive, you're too people aren't gonna accept you, they're not gonna like you, you have to change, you have to be more this way. And Tanya never compromised on who she is, and she has grown, but she's never changed her heart. She's never changed her optimism. And so many people, their lives really have been changed by that. And so I really do admire that you have stayed true to who you are, because it's not easy, especially when people are telling you you're this, you're that, to kind of come against that and remain positive.
But you know, people talk a lot about like toxic positivity, you know, and I'm like, I acknowledge when I've cried on the air so many times. Like I acknowledge I'm sad, I'm having a bad day, I'm going through something, but I don't let myself just sit in that. I'll just, you know what I mean? Like I'll let myself feel it and then I'll move on or like find something to to feel better about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will say I do look forward to your Instagram stories every day. Like you know,
They're
like
very-
you
yeah.
know, like there's some people out there that you like skip through.
Yeah.
And you're like, like you, like I'm like watching each one. Like I know what you and your boyfriend and your dog are up to all the time.
What
As creepy as that
No.
sounds.
Well, what came first, the name of the book or Sunny, or the name for your dog?
Okay, so it's funny because the book actually
Okay.
we had the book title.
Tanya,
already.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah,
Sunny
yeah.
and the Sunshine
Yeah,
Line.
but
This
it's
is
not like
wild.
I couldn't just name my dog because it was my boyfriend and then his kids were involved in the decision. So all of us had to be on the same page, which is not an easy thing if
Yeah.
you know. So the book came first. So it's not like I named Sunny after the book, but she just felt like such a representation of like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the sunshine.
So cute.
It is very cute. Now, I mean, this isn't like a book of, hey, this is my, like, you know, people write books as like memoir style, you're writing about. It's very, like you said, devotional, very inspirational. How do you guys come up with all of these? That's really what, it's a silly question, but like 100? That's a lot. That's a lot
Guys,
of like positivity
it was
and
365, and we were like, okay, we're gonna start with 100.
Yeah.
Maybe
We were
the
gonna
next
do
book.
one for every
Yeah.
day of the year, and then we were like, yeah, 100 feels like a good number.
Did you split it? Did you collab on
We
all of them together?
We split it.
We split
Yeah,
it, but we
yeah.
also really like I have a lot of personal stories, so I like to express through personal
Yeah.
stories. And Raquel's really good with the Bible and the interpretation, so like it was actually really good.
And I have a lot of personal stories. I think I'm maybe a little bit more private than you, so I was able to.
no, you still shared them.
Yeah,
I'm just
I did
saying,
share
like your
stuff. Yeah,
strength,
yeah.
like we have different strengths, and so
Yeah.
it was like really
Yeah.
good to kind of be able to come together in
Yeah.
those ways.
Yeah, and okay, so obviously like the book there is very devotional. There's a lot of Bible. What is why am I spacing on?
Passages?
Passages, yes. I'm like, I was about to say lyrics like it's a song.
Scripture.
I was really about to say lyrics. But I feel like anybody could read this book. Do you feel like, how do you want to market this to everybody and not just those that are spiritual or have
Yeah.
faith?
So it's a book for everybody, and it's very digestible. So it's 100 days to finding the hope and joy you want. So you can read it in a couple of days, but it's meant to be a 100-day journey. So you read a page a day, and you know, developing the sunshine mindset. We always say it's not like a quick fix or a formula. It's the way that you live your life. So for example, like, you know, it's choosing to forgive instead of retaliating. It's taking disappointments as lessons learned. It's taking the high road, all of those things. And through practicing that in your day-to-day life, you sort of develop this sunshine mindset, which I think is a lifelong journey. And the reason that it's a book for everybody is because what I found is that when your inner life is strong, you can handle anything that comes your way. So when good things happen to you, you get the job, you get the promotion, get the relationship you've always wanted. It humbles you and fills you with gratitude as opposed to ego or arrogance. And when bad things happen, it's your strong inner life, your spirit that sustains you and everything in between. So even in the mundane, when life feels kind of blah or boring or whatever, the spirit, your inner life is what fills you with inspiration, with awe to carry on or to find what else is next for you. And so it's a book for everybody because we all need to have a strong inner life. I think that's really the only way to handle this world, to live a life of peace. And so, yeah, it absolutely is for everyone.
Yeah.
Right. And like you mentioned, you know, it's not supposed to just, you could read it in a couple of days.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
more so like take your time with it. And I think it's
Yeah.
one of those books that like if you're having a stressful day, it's the perfect book to turn to and be like, let me just read a page of this, reflect a little
Exactly.
bit and remind yourself of what you said. Like you need sort of that inner peace to be okay with bad things happening.
Yeah.
Or not bad, but anything that could just
Anything,
simple that can mess up your
like
day or
life.
anything
Yeah.
or anything
A bad
great,
photo.
honestly. Yeah. Well, guys, like, yes.
It can make you dark. It can make you
It
dark.
can get dark.
I know.
Really
I
quick.
know. I know it.
But Raquel, I feel like everything we hear about you, you know, we know Tanya so well, but
Yeah.
we've heard so many great things about you just being like a really solid friend. Like
Aw,
Tanya
thank
just
you.
said, like, you're a rock. You know, we saw in the Selena Gomez documentary that you just seem to be like a person that anybody can go to and you're gonna kind of tell it how it is, but also be there for that person. How do you navigate that? Like, you know, maybe your friend might be wrong or whatever, and you want to
Yeah.
help them, but you also want to tell it how it is.
Yeah. Well, I think the number one character trait that I admire in a friendship is authenticity. And I think you can't have authentic friendships without being able to tell the truth. So I welcome that in my life, and I also give that as a friend. And so,
She does.
yeah. And so I think if we're not doing that, then we're just not having real friendships. I
I
mean, can you think of
totally
anybody
agree.
in your life, a family or a friend, where if you guys aren't being real and honest with each other, then it's not an authentic friendship. And so my friends are like the love of my life. I love my friends so much, and my friends love me. And I think that the reason for that is because it is real. And so, yeah, I mean,
I will tell
I
you.
totally agree with that.
I will tell you. In my relationship, early days of my relationship, Raquel was like my only friend that was constant. She was like, "Love is patient. Love is patient." Why does the Bible always say love is patient? It's the first thing it says. Be patient.
blew
with
my
him.
mind in the scripture, because when you guys have probably heard it throughout. It's
Mm-hmm.
a scripture that's commonly referenced. It says love is patient, love is kind, love is not jealous,
yeah.
blah blah blah. But I was always
Always
like,
said at
why
weddings.
does it start with?
It's always said at weddings.
It's
It's like
always,
the- yeah.
always, but it can be applied to all relationships. And it's like, why does it start with patience? Patience is the last thing that you think of when you think of love, right? You think of maybe like, I don't know, good feelings, kindness, all of that stuff, but you don't think of patience. And I think in order to truly love, it requires a lot of patience.
Yeah, and I'd be like looking at her like I'd want her on my side. Like, no, I've been really patient. Like, it's time. And she's like, no, he's there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want your friend to like get in there
Right.
with you, and she was just like, no, and like she was right.
Yeah. I think that is a really, really good friend to have. I think those qualities are super important, because you want people to support you, of course, but you don't want yes people, right?
No.
There's a difference between like being supportive and being just like, yeah, whatever you say. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we spoke about it after Selena's documentary
I saw
came
it.
out.
Tanya sent it to
and
me. It was-
we
yeah.
were like, what
kind,
people
yeah.
watching that we're
Yeah.
not like that's friendship. Like, you have to be able to be honest with each other and have
Yeah.
these conversations. Like, nobody, whether you're Selena Gomez and like the most famous woman in the world, or like us, you don't want somebody that's just gonna agree with you all the time and say like, you're so great and yes and yes and yes. So it's like that's friendship, and I feel like Tanya's reiterated how good of a friend that you
thank
are.
you.
Yeah,
I remember, and you had commented too. We were
Yes.
like, this is wild. Like,
Yeah, it was so
And I was
wild.
actually happy you commented, because I was like, oh, maybe that'll mean Raquel will see it, because we obviously didn't know you.
I did
and-
see it,
I
and
sent it
I
to
was
her.
so
Right.
kind.
And
what
I was
you guys
like,
said, yeah.
we don't know her, but I'm
Yeah.
getting aggravated for her, because
Yeah.
people just take anything and just run with it.
Yeah, and
then-
here's the thing. I know anytime you do anything public in life, right, you're subject to opinions of,
Right.
of other
Totally.
people. That's if you don't, you just don't even go there if you're not willing to be able to take the heat. But the biggest thing for me was that the documentary was a beautiful, beautiful piece of work that Selena so vulnerably shared with the world. It was her life story, and part of what was included in that documentary was our friendship, which is special, and it's honest, and it's real. And so, I think what it's a good reminder of is that when people are scrolling through Instagram, or they're scrolling through TikTok, or you're watching a documentary, you're getting a small glimpse into someone's life. You're not seeing the full picture. And the truth is, we've had a friendship for the last decade because it's real, it's honest, and I'm so grateful for that, and I'm grateful that it was included in the documentary.
Right, yeah.
Because I think that it is important to see, and I think it's amazing that Selena welcomes honesty in her friendships, and I welcome that in my life too. And I'm sure you girls do as well.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
But like,
and-
also like think about how like good it is. Like, okay, let's like, if you're going through something and you just want to bash your boyfriend breaks up with you, and
Totally.
you want your girlfriend to just bash him with you, like, oh, he sucks, he's this, he's that. that just goes, you just go darker. You know what I mean? It's not a place of light. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
it only
right.
takes you.
You need someone that's
Yeah.
gonna
And
I
pull
also
you
in-
up
sorry,
a
go ahead.
little
No, sorry. People always want to find the negative and everything. So like you said, she was very vulnerable, shared this whole story. There were so many things to take out of that documentary.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the one thing people took out of that was
Yeah.
your guys' friendship in a negative light. And
Yeah.
I was like, there were so many other important things that people should be talking about from this documentary that it's
so many.
but it's
Yeah.
people wanting to be negative, but
Well-
you guys are two bright lights.
So the sunshine mind.
Yeah,
what is it?
exactly.
It's being above the noise. It's
Exactly.
not giving energy to hate. It's focusing on the good.
No,
And
if you guys
so-
would have seen her through, I mean, it was like she's just unshakable. Like, you know what I mean? Like she knows who she is. She knows what type of friend
Well,
she is.
that's the other thing too, and I think this is important for people as well when we talk about doing the 100-day journey, strengthening your inner life. When your inner life is strong and you're living a life with integrity, you sleep peacefully every single night, and it doesn't matter what you face, what you go through. There's a peace that comes with living a life of integrity, and so I really am secure in who I am. I know the kind of friend that I am, so. Anyone really could say anything, but I have a peace that is unshakable. Truly.
Yeah.
Totally
being secure
unshakable.
with yourself is so important.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really great message to have out there. And like you said, if you'll sleep better at night.
Yeah,
if you're
you
not
will.
Yeah.
worrying, you know yourself. You're like, I know myself and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have gotten some phenomenal endorsements. I mean, Selena wrote the
thank
forward
you.
for the book.
Wasn't it
It's
beautiful?
beautiful. It's so
Yeah.
nice. And then I also saw, like, Tanya, you were sharing other endorsements on Instagram as well from other people who know and love you guys. And what is that feeling like when you put your work out there and you get it endorsed in such a nice way by all these people in your life?
It's so funny because, like, obviously Selena and Sophia are like, family to us.
Yeah.
But like Devon Franklin is somebody that I've admired so much, just personally, professionally. I've just really looked up to him. And I remember I was like really nervous.
I remember you texted me.
I was
You're
like nervous to ask him to do the endorsement, and he could not have been more happy to do it. And everybody that endorsed the book were so happy to do it and willing and just wanted to be a part. And so it's really interesting because I too, I have a podcast, I do a morning show. I create content daily that just goes out, but it's weird. It's so different to have a book that's like a physical thing that people are going to go back to. And like, I don't know, it's just been a totally different process.
What was the feeling like seeing it in the bookstore? Because I know, like, I love a good bookstore, but there's not that many that are.
Yeah.
Well,
exist
we did a
anymore
book
still.
signing on Monday at Barnes & Noble at the Grove, and we were,
That's
we
the
were
dream.
nervous
the
to
Barnes
go.
and
We're
Noble
like,
at the Grove, I feel like, is the dream.
it was the
Like,
dream. It was the
Totally.
dream. And it was pretty surreal.
No, we
Yeah.
like thought nobody was there because it's a huge Barnes and Noble, and I was like, oh my gosh, Raquel, nobody's here.
I'm like, it's okay. Our parents are coming.
Yeah.
our close
friends,
friends.
My distant family
Yeah,
members.
yeah,
No, like I knew our friends were coming, so I knew at least
Yeah.
like 20 people would be there. But I was like, oh my gosh, there's nobody here. But I didn't realize how big the store was. So by the time I got up to the third floor, and I saw this crazy line, I got really emotional. I saw
Yeah.
my parents. Like it was just really emotional.
It was really special.
Yeah.
Your dad is too cute. It's just,
It was so funny. So he walks up to the crowd before we got there, and everybody started cheering. And he was like, and I think he was like, I think they knew I was your dad because my hat said Rad Dad on it. And I was like, no, Dad. People like know. He doesn't have social media, so he like doesn't know. It was so cute.
I
So
love
cute.
the,
And
the
the
text
text-
you posted.
the text.
He goes, I have
He was
no
like,
complaints about the
no
book. I'm like,
first review.
Good to know.
Great.
Yeah, great.
Because if you had
So
complaints,
funny.
we'd change it.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be very
Right.
concerning.
Well, I know. Isn't that nice? Like, it's like, well, Dad, the book's published already. So,
if you had complaints,
yeah,
or
if you had
something you can do
complaints
about it.
please don't share them.
I purposefully I didn't share the writing process with anybody aside obviously like from us, but I don't think even I had my boyfriend read any of it. I just wanted no outside opinion. I just wanted to just like
Don't want to second guess yourself.
no.
Yeah.
Now that you guys have done this one, do you want to keep it going? Make it more of like a series?
365?
Oh, well, let's see. I mean, I'm open
Add it
to
up so
I'm
you
open
get
to anything.
365.
Here's the thing. My heart is to help as many people as possible. And so with this book, once we're finished with all the press stuff, what we really want to do is go into schools, high schools, colleges across the US and
Great.
talk to people face to face on the ground, hear their stories as well. And so if that continues to help people and there's another opportunity to do another book, absolutely.
Yeah, and look, it's like all the things that we're going through, like on a public scale or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's going through in their lives.
Yeah.
You know, it's not we're all dealing with the same things on social media, people being awful,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so if we can kind of really get in there to especially girls at a younger age,
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be really
Yeah,
beneficial
for
because I
sure.
think
I mean, you
100%.
mentioned high school and
Even
college
just
is
for
like-
me, I'm thinking like to read a page of this in the morning instead of immediately opening Instagram when I wake up,
Yeah,
like would be so calming.
Even just a little bit of help. And I'm thinking
it
like
would be so like because that
back
really
in-
is such something you want to start with such a positive
Right.
like you want to
How
start
do
your
you
day
girls
positive.
keep a positive mindset?
It's hard.
I've just been through so many like big things here now that I have heard the worst of it that I don't think I need, you know what I mean? Like
I kind of feel the same. It's like
I'm-
the more that you go through in life, you develop this kind of inner, I call it like an inner growth muscle.
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay.
And I
you know.
also feel what you were saying before, and you were like,
Yeah.
I'm so okay with myself. Like, I am okay with like decisions I have made, and I feel very happy with my life.
Yeah.
Now that I'm like, that's how I keep a positive mind, where I'm like, I really like love how much I've grown. I love my life right now. So it's like,
Yeah.
I feel okay with myself. So
yeah.
Yeah, for me it's more just like you're always worried about the next thing or
Yeah. Always.
what's coming up, what you have down the line, what's life going to look like in a year, or like I have to be at work and doing like I have to be working as hard as I possibly can, which yes, absolutely, but sometimes I think I like don't stop to appreciate everything like so lucky. Our job is great. Like we have great people in our lives. Our family is healthy, and like we have
Yeah.
all these great things,
Yeah.
great group of friends. And I'm just like, you're always just kind of hustling and moving, and then you need like I've been trying to take more time to appreciate those things.
Yeah.
Which is hard because you do get totally taken down with the negative sometimes, whether that's being on social media, reading the news,
you
being
like
on
also,
TikTok,
like, you focus on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
you could have 100, like we could have 100 amazing reviews on the book, and that one negative one I'll be thinking about forever. It's like when I started in my career, like there was one person that was really awful, and it still sticks with me. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm on the other side now, you know. But I had imposter syndrome for like the first 10 years of my career because I was like, oh, my personality's too much. I'm too this. I'm too that. You know what I mean? And so it's like we
Yeah.
focus on the.
you always remember the one
Yeah.
thing. And
But it's like
stick to
also
it.
too, like I think that Raquel and I are very different in ways, and I think that anybody can find something to do. Like whenever I'm having issues with my body or having body image issues, like I will take Post-its and like speak kindly over my body and put it on the thing, and I'll look at my body naked in the mirror every day and like speak
to
these
you.
things. Yeah, but it was weird at first. It was like so weird to do at first, and then I
Yeah.
got really comfortable doing it. And I really feel like I was like at the end of it, I was like, I really feel this,
No, and it's great because I think a lot of people do that and they
Yeah.
go straight to the negative. It's like, oh, I don't like the way my
Yeah.
arms look, and I don't like the way my stomach looks, and like so
Yeah.
it's a good way to flip that to
Yeah.
be like, well, I like these things.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah, I think I look at my body naked in the mirror too much. Like I gotta start like doing it like you, like where it's like I'm just gonna appreciate this for a second.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys keep it so positive, and I feel like sometimes when you're also so entranced is the wrong word.
Trance. I like that word.
Sometimes you throw out a word, or I'm like,
Yeah, I know. I
don't even
That
know
was
what
the
that
wrong. To be honest, that was the wrong word to use. And I'm going to simplify it instead of trying to sound smart. You guys are so surrounded by like Hollywood and
Yeah.
the lights and the glimmer and the glamour, and you're hosting so much and doing all these events, and you see everything
Yeah.
that's going on. How do you kind of like keep like your mind on reality of what's real and like what's going on besides getting caught up in the
Well,
Hollywood?
it comes back to faith and having a strong inner life and seeing people as human beings. And I think that, yes, we can admire people who are successful, who are further along than us and who have done amazing things. But when you understand that at the end of the day, we all go to the bathroom, we all, we're all
Yep.
born, we all die, we're all human. You see people as people. And so when you walk into any situation, no matter how glamorous or amazing it is or who's in the room, you can admire it and you can be like, wow, this is really cool, this is really amazing. But you see people as people.
Yeah.
And I think that that's how you stay grounded and go through this.
Yeah, it's interesting for
Life.
me because I feel like, I mean, there are times obviously where I go out and I'm not working, but I feel like I would go to these things and I would work.
Yeah.
And I remember early on when I was like in LA and like trying to make friends, my work is very early in the morning. And so I couldn't go to like a lot of these things. You know, everybody would invite me to all kinds of things, but I was like always working. And so I was like, I'm never going to make friends because I can't, you know, go to the beach at noon on a Tuesday. But it was like, I really got to like, you know, Raquel would meet me for coffee or meet me for like lunch or meet me in a courtyard. And it was like those friends that really wanted to be my friend figured out how to, you know what I mean, hang out with me, not, you know, because I couldn't necessarily do everything. So it's interesting because it's like, making friends as an adult is so weird.
Yeah. Especially I feel like in a place like LA, like Fran mentioned, and you know, I don't think we've talked that poorly about LA. I think it more comes from a place of intimidation, of like being intimidated by the people, because when we do go to LA, it's strictly for work. Like we're never just going to like,
Well, next time you
hang
come,
out.
we'll come hang out. We'll do something
and,
fun.
You know,
Yeah.
we always, and we do interviews and stuff, and like we'll end up doing really cool things, but always end up feeling like intimidated a little bit because I'm just like, I don't know
There's
if I'd be able
always
to live
some-
here.
there's
if, like,
always
this is it.
something going
But then
on.
you
Yeah.
realize that you wouldn't, if you lived there, like you wouldn't be doing these things every day.
There's
It'd
also
be-
always something going on in
It's
New
so
York.
true.
We just aren't. We're not doing that either.
Right.
Like,
So it's just what, like,
you know.
But I think, you know, I would feel a similar way when I come to New York too. I think it's wherever you live, you get comfortable and it becomes your norm. And then you go somewhere new and you're like, whoa, this is wild. But I think that, yeah.
I mean, dating in LA is like a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? I mean, you're very happy now.
I'm happy now.
But before
it was
that,
a journey to get him.
like, why do you think? Is it just like
I don't
ego?
know. No, I
Is
think
it-
there's like a little
because
bit
that
of,
that happens in New York too. I mean,
yeah, there's also a little bit of like bigger, better deal syndrome, the Peter Pan syndrome. I don't know. I was finding, and it's actually, I dated some really great guys, but they just like weren't for me. Either my career was too much and what I did for a living was too much, or it just didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, but I really, I think I think I dated every possible human there.
Type of person.
This is like I dated
right, every type of-
I
every-
really got
every type
around
of
Yeah,
human.
she's
LA.
like, I really dated all of them.
every type
type
of
of
person
person.
in LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it brought you to
Correct.
the right one.
Yeah.
He's
Exactly.
the best.
You guys are
I
so
love
cute.
watching
Love
you guys.
Robbie so
know.
much.
Relationship, like I just think you guys are so cute. Like I love when you post videos of him and you're like, like he's so hot. Like that makes me laugh because sometimes I want to do that with my boyfriend, but like people.
How long
would,
have you
like,
been
rip it
dating your
apart.
boyfriend?
Like a year.
Okay.
So, but it's just funny because I'm like, I can never do that, but I admire
Yeah,
that you
I like
do that.
I don't care. I'm like, I'm drooling over your hands. Like, and actually,
Yeah.
what's really crazy is that when we decided when we were doing this book, we didn't have any agents involved. We did it totally like grassroots, and my boyfriend's an attorney, so he helped with the actual deal of it all, which was like so special because it was like I really trust him. He wants my best interest, her best interest. So it really felt like a family.
Yeah, it did.
I love the
It
way
did.
it seems like how he treats your friends. Like
Yeah.
I see his relationship with Becca and like
Yeah.
it's
It's like
so cute.
family.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
texted Raquel the first day that we had press for the
Yeah.
book, and like I'm just like I'm so obsessed with him. Like
That's so
truly,
sweet.
so obsessed with him.
I love that.
Raquel, where did you grow up?
I grew up between Chicago and England, and then I moved to
Wow,
LA
okay.
when I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so funky.
I know Chicago and England, like very.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what? I think in hindsight, I'm like, I feel
It's
like
funny because I can kind of hear like a little Chicago.
oh yeah, Chicago comes out.
Yeah,
for sure.
like,
And
just
then
a- Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like even maybe just the way you say Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, like
But yeah, I think growing up different places, I also moved around all the time, even within England, within
Yeah.
Chicago, and
England, like England.
Yeah, England, Cambridge, England.
What other
I
England
had
is
a
there?
British accent
Sure,
as a
like-
child.
Like
I had a
I'm
British
just making
accent.
sure,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because
Ria's going to London in April.
I'm going to
She-
London in
for
April.
the
Oh,
first time.
you're
She's like,
going to
yeah.
love London.
I have
I've never been
always
either,
wanted
but-
to go. Well, like not always. Actually, in the past
been a recent-
like 2 years, like I've been having dreams about London, like all this stuff about London. And then my boyfriend for Christmas surprised me with a trip to London, and so I'm very excited. But when you just said England and you said England and Chicago, I was like, is she like shortening New England? You know, like like Connecticut.
Yeah, because I didn't say
Boston,
London because I grew up in Cambridge. So when I say
Yeah.
London, then people are like, "Oh, you grew up in the city."
Yeah,
I grew up
yeah.
in Cambridge, which is about an hour and a half outside of London. But
Interesting.
you are gonna love it. I always say like I could live between LA and London. They're my like happy places.
I'm so excited. What about the McDonald's there? I was just talking about
It's
this.
not great.
What?
Do not like the food that's really good in the U.S. Don't eat it in London. Yeah.
Because I was talking about how they have, McDonald's in different countries have all different items. And I was like, I get there really late the first night. I'm really excited to get McDonald's. But
Oh well,
Raquel.
try it. I'm sorry, I don't want to crush your dreams
To
of
be honest, I've
McDonald's.
heard about London. I've heard it about Paris. I've heard that the one
You
in
have
France
to
is
get
good.
like the bread is really
Listen,
amazing
like,
in England.
I'm
the
gonna do all, like, the
pastries,
good
like
stuff,
the,
of
the
course.
English
McDonald's.
breakfast.
I'm not focused on Tanya, we're not doing this. I'm not focused on the McDonald's for my trip. It was just the late night when I first get there because they have different items.
How long are you going for?
It's a Tuesday to Sunday, so it's a good amount of
Oh,
time.
you're gonna have so much fun.
I'm really looking.
I'm
for
gonna get
some-
your info after this, and I'll send you
Please, give
some
me
good,
some really good
places,
recommendations because
Yeah,
I need them. I want like a good like donuts,
Yeah. Oh
pastries.
no, I'll send you
whatever it is.
everything. You're gonna love it. You're gonna
That's
love
I
it.
was
exactly
like,
what you need.
England, right? Like the true
Yeah.
England. What made you move to LA?
So I was in my first semester of college in Chicago, and I wasn't loving my school, and I went through a breakup, and my whole family was moving to LA, and they were like, "Do you want to move with us, or do you want to stay?" And I was like, now that I went through this breakup, you know what? I think I want to change. I'll move. And it's so crazy because at the time that was devastating to me. I probably would have been one of those girls that like got married young and stayed in Chicago. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I moved to LA, and in the beginning, I wrote about it in the book. It was extremely difficult. It's a very hard city to get integrated into. Like you girls are saying, you come, it's really intimidating. I would make plans with people that I had like met at church or something, and then people just like don't show up to the plan, or they bail on
That's
you.
a big thing in LA. People just not showing up.
Not showing up. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm social. I love people. And it was
Yeah.
really hard. I had my family, and I, was taking community college classes, and I was working, but it was really hard to meet people. And so I prayed. I still remember I was driving down this street called Highland, and I was crying. Called Highland. And I was crying, and I said, God, if this is where I'm meant to be, I pray that you would make it really clear, and that I would make the best friends I've made in my life. And I'm giving it a 1-year timeline, or I'm going back to Chicago. And I can't believe it. Like, God really pulled through, you guys.
Yeah.
That Christmas, my parents knew a couple. We went to their house. I made friends with their son. He at the time was living with Jason Kennedy, who was a host for E! News, which was how
you met
How
Tanya.
I yeah,
met
because I
Tanya.
was working
Amazing.
in the same building as Jason, and me too. I was going through a breakup, and Jason would just see me crying in the halls every day, and like had no idea what I was going through. Just saw me crying every day.
Blonde girl's
we
crying
need
again.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta talk to her.
Yeah, and so he like came over in the hall and was like, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm doing a Bible study tonight if you want to join. And I literally was like, what about a single friend? Like, do you have a single friend? Or, like,
Bible or like
yeah,
single
like, I was like,
guy.
this is what he's offering me. But I went, and that's the night I met Raquel and a couple of our other friends that we're still friends with, and like I really like changed my life.
But no, Jason and Jordan were so sweet to me because they really included me into their friend group. And then I, made my core group of friends really through that Bible study.
No,
And
Jason
then
Kennedy is like salt of the earth.
Yeah.
And then you guys actually showed up for the coffee dates with each other.
we showed up. Yeah, we didn't bail.
How did you meet Sophia Carson?
So we met. Actually, I met her before Descendants.
Okay.
So
I didn't even know this. I'm like, I'm curious.
So it was at the Radio Disney Awards. It was like the
Okay.
Radio Disney Awards. I was there with Charlie Walk, and she was there with her sister Paulina.
Yeah.
And we were seated next to each other for the award show, and we literally, this was before Descendants came out, so I didn't know her or anything.
Yeah.
And the three of us just had like totally hit it off, had the best time, and like literally it was like instant. Like we became like the Three Musketeers like in that moment. And then Descendants happened, and it was like this crazy.
Yeah.
I was not you know what I mean? Like I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And then I had just started
Disney-
my career too,
Disney
so
bump.
we've kind of it was
I know,
really-
and I mean, I asked too because I just feel like she's had Purple Hearts. I loved. I thought it was.
Oh, I
so
loved it too. Wasn't
good.
it
We had her
good?
on over Zoom, right?
We did, yeah.
Like a
Purple
while
Hearts,
ago.
and then also like the Grammy nomination or Oscar,
Yes,
nomination,
yeah.
Oscar nomination. So like so very cool things.
And
but
honestly, nobody deserves it. Like, she's also one of those people.
she seems so. I mean, over Zoom, it's
She
it's hard.
is what you see is what you get. Like, she is kind. She is nice. She is thoughtful. She is
Very hardworking.
hardworking. Shows up, is nice to everybody. Has no ego. You know what I mean? Like, she is.
Yeah.
And so it's like I just want her to keep, like, when Purple Hearts did what it did. It was
She was so deserving. Yeah.
so deserving, and it was like so amazing because she really works hard and she picks projects that she believes in. You know what I mean? She's not just like saying yes to everything.
Yeah,
Right.
I
It
loved
seems like
and
you
the song
guys
was so good.
have made incredible friendships, and I think that people listening to this can really take something away from the way you guys look at your friendships and how you treat people and how your friends treat you.
Especially young girls
Yeah.
that are trying to navigate friendships.
because
like in their early
sometimes-
20s can be so hard.
Sometimes you have friends that you want to be friends with them, but they're not giving you what you give to them or what
Yeah.
you think you should be getting back, or and
No, it's
I
a
think
two-way
it's
street. It's
important
totally-
to realize what goes into a friendship, and also when it's time to like call it quits on a friendship as well.
I feel like a lot of people do that. Like, they're just, I've been friends with this person for so long. So,
Yeah.
But if there's somebody, I just feel like there's so much about being with people that align with you morally. And I just think also your friendships are everything in life. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of time we focus on a romantic relationship. And I love my romantic relationship and I always wanted that. But it's all your relationships in life, And so I think making sure that you
Well, and I also think the older you get, the more you know who you are, what you want, what you admire in a friendship. Like it does get a little bit easier, I think, with time, and also you get more of a backbone to be like, okay, you know what, this is not going to accept that anymore, and I do think it's important to, like, if a friendship is kind of fizzling out or whatever, sometimes to even have those conversations of like, hey, I have so much love for you and respect for what our friendship's been, and like I notice there's been some distance now, and that's okay. Like, I want you to know that I always have love for you.
Yeah.
And
That's the best.
communicating.
I think
communication
talking
is
about-
important.
It's the
talking
best
about
when
it
you
always.
both know, like, no matter what, maybe you don't see each other all the time, but if you do make that plan to see each other, you're both going to show up and it's going to feel good. Like, there's sometimes I think people have friendships that you maybe grew up together, or you feel like an obligation, where when those plans come around, you like, it stresses you out. You're like, oh, I really, like, this is a lot. Like, it's you got to prioritize
And
where
like, relationships are work,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like even friendships, like every relationship is work. And I think it's also just being, again, like super communicative, and like, again, like with my work schedule, I like to do stuff early. So if my girlfriends want to do dinner, I'm like, can we go at 5:36?
yeah.
8:39.
I'm such a 5:36 dinner person.
Yeah.
I feel that I get
But
made
it's
fun
like
of all the time.
meeting in the middle, and also like communicating. I feel like when I shifted to being in a serious relationship, your time constraints are different, and so it's like communicating that and just being like, I am sorry, like I'm not around, but I want to see you, and like making time, and we all go through different seasons.
Exactly. And it's nice when your significant other does fit with your friends.
That's
Very
ideal,
nice.
right?
It's ideal.
That
yeah.
is ideal. It doesn't. It's
ideal.
A lot of people. It doesn't happen for a lot of people. When it does happen, it definitely is extremely helpful. I
Yeah.
would say it is very nice. But I mean, thank you guys so much for
thank
coming.
you guys.
Oh, thank you for having
This
us.
has been
you guys
so
lifted
great.
up my day. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I know. I sometimes, and also like now I'm ready. I feel like I want to read it, but I also like want to take the time to do it slowly. So I feel like maybe
and
I'll do
it's
one
in
a day.
audio version too. So I always like to say
That's
for people
really
listening,
nice.
or
That
for you
is
girls, if
true.
you prefer to listen,
Yeah.
it is available in audio, and we read it ourselves. So
Yeah.
that's a cool
And there's a
option.
table of
That is
contents
really
too. So
cool.
if like you want
Yeah.
to just, if you're feeling like you need
Yeah.
something, like you can kind of like
Yeah.
go that
Sometimes
route.
listening to something or watching something calms me down, so that's really nice. That's nice.
Definitely. Well, guys, the book is everywhere.
Yes.
You can buy it. You can listen to it. Get it online. Get it in stores. Get it on Amazon.
Leave a nice review.
manifesting?
Leave a nice review.
Yeah, I'm like, are you pulling? Are you Kelsey like manifesting? this?
Yeah,
Need the stamp on here.
I saw Kelsey posting about that too. She's so funny. She's
I
like
know.
bestseller.
I know. She had like a whole poster and was like,
Yes.
as they were selling more, she would fill the thing. I'm not going that hardcore because I also don't. I'm a big person in not being attached to the outcome. Like open to the possibility, not attached to the outcome. So I don't want to be so attached to a New York Times bestseller that if it doesn't happen, then I'm disappointed.
Right.
But I obviously really want it, so we're pushing really hard.
But and I also think every single life is so important, right? So if we touch even one person, if they go through this book and they're like, you know what, I feel stronger, I feel less alone, that is worth it.
Oh, it's already already doing
we're
what
kind
we
of
want.
yeah, we're not attached to the outcome at all.
Yeah.
And of course it would be amazing, but we're so grateful that it's out and that people can
Yeah.
get their hands on it now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming
Yes,
in.
thank you
seeing
so much.
us. Like I said, make sure you pick up your copy, order it, go into the stores. You guys doing more signings?
No, that was it.
No, that
One
was
and
it.
done.
If you
We might
missed,
do
if
another
you missed
one
the
at some
Grove,
point.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe down the road.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll
down
think
the
about it.
road.
Do
maybe
maybe down the
one
road.
in New York.
Maybe down the road. I'm sure people would love it. But
I
thank
would
you
love
guys.
to. I would love to do it.
Yeah.
But
Will
you
you
know.
girls come if we do a signing
Yeah,
in New York?
Absolutely.
I will
Absolutely.
stand in
I
the
will-
line too. I don't even want to be skipped ahead or anything. I want to stand in that line.
I'll buy a new copy.
We will contribute.
yeah. So once again, thank you guys
Yes,
so much.
thank you
Thank
guys so
you.
much.
This
for
was
having
amazing.
us.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. And make sure you guys are subscribing. We still want to dye Noah's hair. I'll say it every episode if I have to. We love you guys. Have an amazing weekend. Stay warm if you are on the East Coast. And we'll talk to you on Monday.